Okay, good morning. So today we're starting a new series called Psychologies to Success. And we are starting today's series with three keys to gaining an advantage over any competition or to making sure that you're being as efficient as possible in attaining any goal that you are setting out for yourself, whether it's to be number one at your job, make more money, if you have a business, if you are competitive in sports, if you're spiritual and you're trying to find spirituality, whatever your goals ahead of you. Set any goals you want. My theory is always your own resistance is the only thing that's going to get in your way. So being able to free your mind and condition your mind to have no resistance to success is a huge aspect to understanding what you're going to do to obviously make your life change in any way that you want to. And so today we're talking about the three things that I think in any competitive atmosphere, goal oriented atmosphere, if you are trying to get to a goal, these are the three things that you must bring every day to make sure that day is efficient and that you have an edge over any competition that you are in the midst of, that you stand out if you need to the people that can obviously make you better or give you promotions or anything of that nature. And thirdly, that'll make it efficient where every day you're going out doing your best, and doing your best closes the gap from where you are to where you need to be as far as your goals and your success goes. So, what are those three things? We always start with attitude. Attitude is everything. And if you're not bringing an attitude, and when I say attitude, I'm talking, and all of these are synonymous, a competitive attitude, a winner's attitude, a goal oriented attitude, a problem solving attitude, a good attitude, okay? Attitude will solve all complications that you might run into. Attitude is the key. Whenever you walk into any team situation, any business, where there's a group of people, immediately you could see who has good attitudes and who has bad attitudes. Who's going to be talking about the problems and complaining about them and constantly bringing you their own personal problems and not knowing how to deal with them and that affecting their ability to stay in a positive mental state versus the people that seem to come in every day ready to go, excited about what they're doing no matter what they're doing, and their problem solvers are ready to go. This takes practice. This takes conditioning. We are not in a society that sponsors good attitudes. We're in a society that sponsors laziness, complaining, feeling sorry for yourself, things of that nature. Attitude, no matter what you face on a daily basis, no matter what challenges will, whether you wreck on the way to work, you get a flat tire, you have enemies at work, your boss isn't treating you right, your biggest weapon is always going to be your attitude. And what people have to realize is you are in complete control of your attitude. If you lose your attitude and you lose the day because you lose your attitude, that is on you and you only. At any point, you can decide to see the gray line in the cloud, if you will, to see the positive aspects of every situation, change your attitude, and go at it. Simple as that. You are in charge of what's going on between the ears. You're in charge of finding positive outlooks. You're in charge of saying, I'm here to do something, I'm going to keep doing it. Yes, everything in life is out there to challenge that dedication to your attitude. So you have to make it a practice, a habit, okay? Because you can't expect yourself to be ready to accept the challenges of life, accept some of the setbacks that you're going to face on any of the goals that you face, if you don't have attitude as a practice. So how do you make it a practice? Everywhere you go, you be Mr. or Mrs. Attitude. Okay, I don't care if you're working, not working, celebrating, relaxing, in your pajamas at the grocery store is probably the best example. Watch what happens when you have a good attitude. It attracts people. It attracts opportunities. It makes you feel great. It turns on the entire room. So when you walk into a gas station, okay, your first thought should be from now on, if you really want to change your life and start being successful, you got to walk in, look the person in the eye that's behind the desk, and say, hey, good morning. Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing? And wait for an answer Be active in wanting to hear what people are thinking and wanting to hear their feedback on the day, getting them to think about your attitude has to be infectious. So this is what I encourage. Everywhere you go, if you go into a family setting, if you go into a gas station, grocery store, I really like gas station and grocery stores because people are just so morose these days in those places. It's hard to get smiles, it's hard to say excuse me, things of that nature. Walk in everywhere you go, put a smile on your face, look people in the eye and say, hey, how you doing? Hey, pardon me, how's the day going? Oh, excuse me, I'm coming through. I hope you're having a great day. How are you doing? Do that. Light rooms up everywhere you go until it becomes a habit. That you're not the one carrying the bad attitude. You've got the good attitude. Having that kind of attitude will be able to let you rhino through the day, as I like to say. Rhino as in push any negatives out of the way. It'll definitely make you stand out because anyone that is in charge of teaching you or giving you promotions is going to be looking for someone that they obviously get a great vibe from, get great attitudes from. And thirdly, it's going to give you that competitive state because all your people that your contemporaries, whatever the case may be, will start looking at you and being like, wow, how do you bring it every day? No matter what happens, rain, snow, sunshine, you're here every day with a great attitude. I want to be like you. And those are the type of things that you need to start hearing in your life if you want to be successful. All right, that is the most important. That's why we start with that. Most of my talks are about attitudes. You're going to hear a lot about it and how to control it. But moving on to number 2, that's going to be work ethic. Work ethic is hilarious because everybody thinks they have it. And it goes hand in hand with attitude. And I always look to people like Michael Jordan, Jack Nicklaus. I'm a sports buff, I'll admit it. But people that seem to be consistent in their attitude and work ethic, despite success or failure, that they look at every day as they're challenging themselves. And that helps them be competitive with everybody else in the world or their league or whatever the case may be. And so when they think of work ethic, they don't come to work and think, wow, somebody like Michael Jordan. One of the greatest quotes about Michael Jordan is, how do you bring it every day? They asked him, how are you? I mean, if you look at his averages, he was averaging 32 points a game throughout his career, over 12 rebounds, and this might not mean anything to a non-basketball player, but those kind of consistent stats, night in, night out, over a decade. And what did he say? He said, sorry, I normally like to take these videos in one take, but somebody called me in the middle of that one, so I'm going to have a little edit there. But night in and night out, we're talking about Michael Jordan and how he could be consistent. And what he said to an interviewer once is, every night I go out there, I think about, that new fan, that new kid that's never been to a Bulls game, and I really want to show him that this is your one opportunity to see me, and I'm not going to disappoint you. And so when you talk about people that surrounded people like Michael Jordan, especially Michael Jordan, they talk about his work ethic over and over again, that whether it was practice or the game, he was there to go 100%. And most people aren't. In your workplace, you'll see how much people try to avoid work all the time. They spend more time emailing, internet chatting, internet searching than doing any serious work at all whatsoever. Our production levels are insane. But this is not something that any boss can tell you to do. This is such an easy way to get a competitive advantage, or to make sure that your days are super efficient as far as what you're trying to achieve, and knowing that work ethic is not something that's inherent in people, and that if you are constantly pushing yourself to have a work ethic every day, that is going to stand above everybody else. Because think about this, when you are in a competitive situation, or if you're just trying to compare yourself to someone else who achieved something that you were that you are using as a guide to also achieve that same goal, okay? When you compare yourself to other people who have achieved that goal, or in your workplace, or in your league, or whatever the case may be, what you're normally comparing is how talented that person is. And there's going to be people that are more talented than you. There's going to be people that know more than you. There's going to be people that have better relationships with upper control, upper management than you. All these things are part of the game, especially if you're new to a situation, you're just starting, or even if you're a seasoned veteran. The dynamics of competition changes all the time. And talent is what is always being sought after. Well, I think talent is way overrated, because I don't care how much talent you've got. I don't care, how many people you know or how much influence you've got. at the end of the day, mentally, my attitude is, if I can outwork you every day, I'm going to beat you. You might be smarter than me. You might be more talented. You might be able to finish projects faster than me. But all I have to do is outwork you. Know that you're going to give up 2 hours before the day. Know that the average person will give up at every chance they get. And know that that's my advantage, is that no matter how talented you are, how unbelievable you are, I'm going to beat you because I got better work ethic than you. Okay. The last thing you want to look at in any of those situations: attitude, work ethic. These are the things that will always keep you ahead in striving for any type of success, goal, or competition. The last would be student mentality, and this is probably my favorite and most overlooked. In terms of student mentality, what I mean by that is, in every situation, workplace, team efforts, solo endeavors, there's always somebody that knows more than you. In every situation, that's done it before you, that has personal experience. And because of the nature of confidence lately in our society, and the nature of individual and just society in general, most people have the wrong idea, and they keep their mouths shut. They never ask questions at all. And if they do ask questions, they're normally flattering questions to kiss somebody's ass. Okay? The way I see it is, if I am with someone in any situation in regards to work, okay, or in the midst of trying to say, everyone has something to offer as far as education goes. You have an entire world of people that are studying things, experiencing things, and they get put in front of you in the workplace or even in a social atmosphere. And you have two choices. You can either talk a lot and tell them what you know, which will get you nowhere, okay? Or you could shut up and start asking questions and start listening. And in every situation, whether it's at work, social atmospheres, not only will you learn something, okay, but you will look smart. The more questions you ask and the less you tell people, the smarter, the more intelligent, the more fascinated people will be with you. Because not only are you flattering them, not only are you bringing them to your attention because you are attentive to who they are, and people don't get that all the time, okay? But on top of that, they know you're smart because they're like, this person is asking questions. That's smart, right? Don't be afraid of authority. And if you have a number like mine in numerology, this is something you struggle with: authority. You don't like authority. This is how you can change your relationship with authority. Instead of being defensive, evasive, use it to your advantage. Get authority to work for you. Okay? Great example. Obviously, we can use a boss as a good example, and I'll quickly say that, but I've got a better one to give you an idea of what's going on. But yeah, if you have a boss, or you have a trainer, or you're even mad that this person's training you because you feel like you're more, ask them a ton of questions. Not only will it get you far in terms of how they feel about you, but you will learn. And then, whenever you make a mistake, you have someone to attribute that mistake to. You're never doing something alone. Ask questions. Always ask questions in every atmosphere. It will get you ahead. I want to make one more last thing about student mentality. I've been doing a lot of things in court lately, if you follow my channel, and I've really loved learning about how to defend yourself in court and sovereignty, because I consider the Bar Association a satanic marketing scheme that has held this country under fear, where nobody feels like they can defend themselves in court unless they pay a lawyer $8,000. And these lawyers that we're defending ourselves against are not geniuses. They're nothing. It's just a matter of learning the dynamics of it and then going at it. And so, I've posted a couple videos where I have a meeting with the DA, or I meet the judge's clerk in a contempt of court case before the case, and the strategy is always the same. Ask a million questions. If I ever have to go to trial, ask a million. When I'm standing in front of the judge, I'm asking questions, never making statements. Okay, asking questions. And if you watch those videos, when you ask questions, not only are you getting the answers you need and you're getting fully informed, not only does that person think you're smart, not only is that person a little bit flattered, but they're a little bit intimidated at that point, because you have taken the light away from you and put it on them. And you can do whatever you like with it at that point. You can either use it to your advantage, intimidate them, have success, whatever the case may be. So at the end of the day, these three things, if you can keep them in your pocket, will always give you a competitive advantage in anything that you're trying to succeed in. Attitude, work ethic, student mentality will always keep you ahead.